Hello there and welcome to this Get Ready With Me. We are going to be trying out a bunch of new makeup because from the Sephora sale on, I just feel like every day there is a new sale somewhere. All these Black Friday sales started early. And so consequently, I have continued to have deliveries made to my house. I wonder how that's happening. But I just thought the funnest way, and I think the most productive way to introduce you all to these products and to try them out is just to do a get ready with me, and we can kind of formulate our opinions together. A couple of these products I may have tried once or twice, but others, like this whole new set of palettes from Tarte, I've not even tested. So we're just gonna have some fun playing with makeup. I did already start with the City Lips Plumping Lip Gloss because my lips were feeling a little dry and thin, so I need some plumping action. Next, I'm gonna apply an eyeshadow primer. I just pulled out this one from MAC today. It's the 24-hour Eye Extend Eye Base. All right, while that eyeshadow primer sets, I'm gonna do something I rarely do and apply a face primer. This is relatively new, I think, in MAC's line, and it's called the Mattifying 12-Hour Shine Control Primer. On the box, it says immediate and 12-hour oil and shine control, immediate and all-day reduction in the appearance of pores, immediate and lasting improvement in skin texture, helps makeup wear better for up to 12 hours. Sweat and humidity resistant, does not clog pores, does not cause acne, lightweight formula, oil free. Okay, so we're gonna just start off with a little amount. It feels pretty lightweight, very thin, lotiony. It does not feel silicone-y. Wow. Okay, so it feels nice and cooling on the skin, and holy moly, it did provide like immediate pore reduction right there. Wow. Okay, I'm going to apply just a little bit more on this area right here. I don't get shiny, but this is where my makeup can start to break down a little bit, and because I have some texture and larger pores there. So let's just see what this does. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. I am not going to apply it around the perimeter of my face because I don't feel like I need it there. All right, we're gonna dive into eyeshadow. I was debating which eyeshadow palette and what to use today because I have been using and testing out the new Tarte Full Bloom, this is limited edition palette. When I first got this, I opened it up and I literally gasped. I was like, oh my word. This is my palette. I love it. So I have been using this off and on. There's just a great combination of cool shadows on this side, kind of warmer shadows in the middle, and then some slightly rosy tones. Not a lot, but I do feel like you can create so many different looks. It is a large palette, I know, which can be intimidating for many of you. So I also at the same time ordered this holiday limited edition set of 4 palettes. They did something like this last year, but this year it's 3 eyeshadow palettes and a face palette. So you can either keep all these or gift them. And right now they're on sale on Tarte's website. So I want to just dive in. I have not tried any of these on my eyes. So these are named kind of after the larger size palettes that Tarte has done. So this is the Tartelet. And this one has the most mattes. It has 5 mattes and just 1 shimmer. And I will try to put up on the screen swatches for each of these. Next is Big Ego. And I didn't know they even had a bigger palette named that, but this one I think we're gonna use a lot of today. So this one has 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. Yeah, 3 shimmers right here. And then this is the last one. It's Lights Camera Lashes, so named after their mascara. And this one also has 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. But you can see in this one, there's not a lot of differentiation between colors. So this is for your friend who doesn't like to wear too dark of shadows. All right, I'm gonna start off with the Tartelet and this matte cream shade on a Sigma E50. Whoa, Nelly, okay. pigmented and quite bright. I do have a little more sunless tanner on my body than normal because I did wedding makeup this weekend. I'll fill you in a little bit as we go along. I don't want this video to be too long, but there's just been so much going on around here. I apologize for my delay in responses and all kinds of stuff. So bear with me. All right, let's stay in this palette. Let's go in, let's try this shade and just see how much color we get from that. I'm gonna do a BK Beauty 201 brush. Okay, that's coming off a little more of a neutral brown, not too much rosiness there. Might switch to our other palette because I want to keep this look overall a little cooler since, you know, I'm wearing this lavender shade top here. Okay, let's go to the Big Ego palette. And I'm going to now just mix in a little bit of this. Now, this is a shade that can be difficult for me to wear all by itself because it is so gray toned, but mixed with that kind of neutral brown, it might kind of create the right tone for me. Yeah, it's kind of nice. Now I can't get too carried away because I actually have to go somewhere tonight, but I'm going to go in with this bright shade and a Morphe M504, and I'm just going to start off lightly and real lightly go around the edge of this. Yeah, I like that. Okay, just adding a little bit of some pink there. That's my comfort zone with these purpley tones. Add a little pink. So tonight is one of the things that is causing me to be extra busy. I had a last minute frantic call last Tuesday from a local singing group. They are from the neighborhood community where I live, and they went through 2 of their pianists could not make it for their performance in December. So they were frantically looking for somebody who could fill in and play the piano. And that somebody has ended up being me. So I'm going to be playing in a performance coming up in the middle of December. So we have practice rehearsal tonight. I'm going to go in now with a little more of that and just a touch in this dark shade. And I'm going to use the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A502 brush. By the way, these are coming back in stock. So I'm not sure if they're coming back in and are going to be sold individually or if it's just the set, but yeah. And also BK Beauty has a travel set releasing today on the day that I'm filming this, so that is exciting. Can't wait to see those. Ooh, those make a really nice color together. I like that. All right, so I'm just dipping my brush in the top and a touch in the bottom. And I like to start at the lash line and then go up so that I don't start off with too much darkness here at the top. And then I think I'll dip into the pink and shade next to it and real lightly, yeah, you can tell that is quite pigmented. All right, so far I've been pretty impressed with the formulation of these shadows in here. This is always the point when you're like, oh dear, I look like I got punched in the eye. We're gonna fix it. Okay, oh dear. Let's go back to this palette. I just wanna see what this one looks like on the eyes. And then I'll probably top it with something else. You know how I roll. All right, we're gonna put this on the center of the lid. That's pretty. So it has a lot of shimmer, a little bit on the metallic side. But it's applying nicely. I wouldn't say it's kind of in between. It's not too soft, but it's also not too stiff. So nice texture. Okay, that's really pretty. I'm gonna go in though with this shade from the Big Ego palette. And this obviously you can tell is very cool tone, real light cool tone pink. So let's put this, yeah, see this one is a much smoother texture, not really any kind of chunky bits of glitter. So it's real smooth on the eyes and very pigmented. I'm just gonna brush that over. I wanna keep this nice and bright. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of liner on the lower lash line. This is Deep Plum from Pixie. And I just wanna kind of start this in the outer corner. And I like to do liner down here, a pencil liner first before shadow, just because it gives the shadows something to stick to. You can also just go down here with a little bit of eyeshadow primer and then top it with shadow. That would also work, but you know, kind of like adding that little bit of color as well. Now let's go back with the Tarte little palette, and I want to just kind of keep this a little more muted on the lower lash line. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of this one here, and let's just see what that does. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, so it kind of neutralizes the purple a little bit, but keeps it nice and cool. Also just softens the edge of that. And this is the Morphe M432. I love this brush down here because it helps you not get too much powder kick up going in your eyes. Before I clean up under the eyes, one more new product I'm gonna try, and that is the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof Liquid Liner. This was on a Black Friday special, early Black Friday from Ulta, and I think it was a couple dollars. It does have a shaker ball. I feel like I tried this a long time ago, but I don't recall what I thought of it. So we're gonna give it a try. It does have a nice, actually it looks like a brush tip, kind of like the KBD one. So let's give this a shot here. I'm gonna do just a real thin line here into the inner corner. Oh, it's pretty black. And I'm really pressing this into the top of my lashes, trying to stay pretty close to the lash line. And I don't think I want to really wing this out much. So I'm just going to bring it to a point here and leave it like that for now. And then we'll go to my other eye. This always happens. I go to this eye, which is kind of downturned, and once I get this one done, I go back and forth. So let's just see what we end up with. All right, I just cleaned up under the eyes with some almond oil, and you can see I ended up with a little more of a wing than I started off with. That's okay. All right, I think I want to go next to foundation, and the new foundation, it's new to me, it's been out forever. I think it's the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation. This has hyaluronic acid and coconut water in it, but I know several of you recommended this to me. I've heard so many talk about it. The shade that I ordered is kind of more my paler skin shade. So this is Fair 25W. So I mixed in some of my NYX PRO Foundation Mixer in olive to, I think, come up with closer to the tone that I should be wearing. So, or at least to match my sunless tanner. Let's just see how this applies over that primer. I'm using the Standout sponge on this side. Okay. Definitely when it hits that primer, it's like it kind of immediately dries it down. Has really nice coverage. So you can see on the areas that I did not apply primer, it is quite glowy. So I think that hydrating kind of fresh look, if you have dry skin, this might be really good, but we're going to see if a combo girl like me can make it work as well. Now, I mentioned over the weekend I did some wedding makeup, and that is why I have a little more sunless tanner on. I knew it was going to be a warm day. I needed to wear short sleeves, so I thought, you know, let's just do a little extra sunless tanner. So that's why I have a little extra color than normal for my fall winter skin. But between the wedding last week and We had a funeral yesterday. My husband and I have had doctor's appointments and things that we missed while we were sick. So it just seems like every time we turn around, there is something else going on. And it's only gonna get busier, right? Going into Christmas, but that's okay. I'm attempting to continue to post a couple videos every week, regardless of what happens, plus Sunday songs. So if you love Christmas music, the next 4 Sundays, I'm going to have some really fun versions of Christmas music. So tune in for that. All right, we're gonna go now to concealer. Normally I would add a little color corrector, but let's just try it on one eye. This is by JCat Beauty. And by the way, I did order a couple of other things from their website, and I'm not going to work them in today, but they are cream contour kits, this amazing sparkly eyeshadow that is formulated for use on the eyes. We need to be watching out for that, but I'm going to use this in another video. But this concealer I want to try, this is Stay Assurance Concealer Water Sealed Zero Smudge. And I ordered the shade Buff. So I think this is maybe going to work for my current tone. We'll see. Still a little light, but we'll give it a shot. Ooh, this already feels a little dry. Okay, let's not get carried away. All right, going to use the A506 from BK Beauty and just see if this can work this concealer in. So it does feel thick. Looks like it's providing really good coverage though. And it does have kind of a quick dry down. So I guess if I don't have to powder this, it could work. So it looks like a pretty matte finish. There's maybe a little sheen there as it's drying down, but that is pretty impressive. Like, look at the hollows of our eyes. Pretty impressive concealing right now with no color corrector. All right, let's try a little bit over here. So definitely a little goes a long way. I'm gonna put a little bit here under the nose. And this is the trick if you have a concealer that's slightly too light, is add a little bit on the center of your face and it kind of ties it all together. All right, you know, could be just the magic of this brush, but that's, wow, like effortless to blend in. And even up close, it does not look dry and is providing good coverage. So, all right, we're gonna keep our eye on that one. And I think I am going to add just a teeny bit right here, just to add a little highlight above the brow here, between the brows. All right, so it is a little light for my current, or the foundation color that I have right now, but I think it's gonna be a good color. All right, fingers crossed this actually stays looking nice. All right, for contour, I want to do a cream or liquid contour because I have to. I was debating between the two. I have used the Kiko one before in the deeper shade, but I just ordered the lighter shade for my winter skin. It does look a little more kind of a bronzer-ish color for me right now. So I'm going to show you the KVD, I think it's Mod Contour. I don't know. I'll put it across the screen. But I have the shade Light Medium Neutral. This comes in several different tones. I got this at the Sephora sale, and it comes with a doe foot applicator. All right. This I have been kind of testing out for about a week or so, and there are a few little tricks to it, and I feel like it depends on the foundation that you have underneath, how quickly it sets, which is generally true of liquid or cream products. If you have a very matte foundation on underneath, it can dry and set quicker. And I find that is definitely true with this. So with my Bare Minerals Bare Pro Foundation, you gotta work real fast. With this foundation, especially here on the outer edge, I feel like I have maybe a little more workable time, but you can see it does not take much product at all. I don't know that I would say this is beginner friendly if you've never used kind of liquid or cream contour, but it is really nice once you blend it into the skin, and it does not take much at all. So if you use this and you've never used a cream or liquid contour bronzer, just go in with just a couple dots or a little bit of a stripe there and work it in. This is the Sedona Lace 602 brush, one of my favorites for cream contour or liquid, as is the case. So you can see it does work in. And then what I love about this one versus the Mod Con, they came out with a similar thing in the blush, and I returned it because it never set down. It just stayed like gooey and glowy and all that. This one does dry down and set. So I've been pretty pleased with that. I'm going to do a little more here. Now, while I do have that new Dior setting powder I am trying out, I want to just go in with a powder I'm really used to, so that when I'm using a new foundation, I'm not wondering if it was the powder or the foundation or the primer. So I'm going to just use the Kiko Milano. This is the Dolce Diva Fresh Feel Setting Powder. And I'm just going to press this in. Okay, I'm feeling very matte, very set. All right, now let's go back to this little palette from Tarte. Whew, it's the only thing about that powder. Lots of just powder flying through the air. All right, we're gonna go to this. This is the Park Avenue Princess, and this is in that set with these other eyeshadow palettes, but it's 3 cheek products. And this I thought was going to be a little more pink, but it definitely looks a lot more neutral, and that shade is Happy Hour. This is Park Avenue Princess, and then this is City Lights. Let's just check. That color's real pretty, and that highlight is very, it doesn't have chunky glitter in there. So we're gonna start off, let's start off with a little bit of Park Avenue Princess. I do love this shade. I've had it in a couple of other palettes, so let's just see if it's kind of the same. I think it is. Some of you asked why I do contour and kind of bronzer, and I just think it helps kind of blend contour kind of up. Now this shade, I would say, is a little closer to a contour color on my skin tone. This is just gonna help further set that Mod Con contour. So I didn't feel like that added a lot of color, but again, it's pretty light and my skin is a little tan. So let's go in with a little bit of this one. And then I have another blush I want to use. I'm using the E4. Oh, that's pretty soft. E4 from Morphe. Okay. Yeah, so this color, whoa. This would be one of those like non-blush blushes. So if you're somebody who doesn't like a pink cheek or too much kind of red, like if you have a lot of redness in your skin and you're afraid of blush, this would be a blush for you. Very neutral. That will be nice with kind of more dramatic eyes. Okay, let's just add one more product to our cheeks. This one from the Balm. I love their packaging, love their themes. So this is Will Powder. This is the blush quad, and it says, I clean up nicely and so can you. Please recycle this packaging. So they came out with new packaging that doesn't contain any magnets. Personally, I kind of don't love the way that this closes. It's just a kind of paper cardboard thing that tucks in here. That's it, because there's no magnets, but okay. Anyway, there are 4 shades, and let's see, looks like these top 2 blush shades are matte, and then we have kind of glowy Oh, that one's pretty. Maybe we're going to use that. I think we're going to use that instead of the City Lights highlighter. Okay, let's start off with a combination of these two blushes. I do love the Balm. I don't feel like people talk about them much because you really can only order them directly from their website. And let me just tell you, this took over a month to get here. So, yeah, they're struggling like everybody, I think, to get things in. That's pretty. All right, but let's see, add a little more of that combination. I don't want to go overboard because I know I have a really bright lipstick, but you know. Okay, now let's go in with this highlighter shade. What is this highlighter shade? It's called Worth the Wait. I'm going to use the MAC 140 and I'm going to place this on the top of my cheeks. It's pretty smooth, nice smooth formula. Oh yeah, let's add in some glow. On the inside, it has a picture of him with his "Hello, my name is Will," and it lists his qualities: long-lasting, shows his true colors, good-looking, likes to recycle. Cute. All right, but looking up close, this concealer, yes, what happens? If I never smile, nothing will crease, but I've got major creasing. So let's see if we can smooth those out. And then before it has a chance to crease again, I'm going to set it with the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the medium shade Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. This is the only area on my face I use this powder, so it lasts a long time. But I'm so glad to have this kind of slightly darker shade because, like in this instance, it can kind of help tone down or deepen a too bright concealer. There we go. That's better. We need some inner corner highlight. So I'm just going to use this because I love the cool tone of that highlighter. Yeah, that's what this needed as the finishing touch here before mascara. All right, I do have a new brow product I've been using off and on. It is the Benefit Palmade Brow Pomade. Wow, I actually was able to get that all out. Okay, and I have the shade 2.5 Neutral Blonde. Through the years, I have used pomades off and on, and the thing I always hate is they start getting chunky or it's hard to control how much is on your brush. Well, I'm sure you've seen people talk about this, but there's this neat little kind of lip in the inside. So what it allows you to do is to press your brush in, and then you can wipe off the edge of your brush so that the pomade is just on the tip of the brush. So I found it to be so much easier to control, like how much, so you don't end up with big old chunks through your brows. Now this does take a light hand. So you can see I'm using a light hand. I have learned, I've experimented with a thinner angled brush like this one. This works, it just takes a long time. So I'm liking this little bit thicker brush. I have no idea where I got this brush, but it is just a slightly thicker angled brush. Lots of companies have kind of a brow brush. This reminds me of the Bare Minerals one a lot. So it's stiff, but angled. You can see it's like, it does lay down a lot. So this is going to give you a kind of more dense looking brow. If you go in with that super thin brush, you could do real hair-like strokes, which I'm gonna attempt to keep this front a little thinner. And then I just brush it through before it completely sets with a brow brush. And I do feel like that really helps distribute the product further and kind of make the brows look a little more fluffy. And then just to kind of lighten up the brows a little bit, give a little texture, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Wow Brow in Taupe. Okay, we've fast forwarded time and a lot has happened. I applied my combination of mascaras. I will list this in the description box below. Obviously, I did style my hair and I also went around the edge of my lips with the Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. But before I finish up the lips with lip liner and lipstick, I'm gonna show you a trick I've been doing on my eyes because they are uneven. And there's just certain days when I feel like they look more uneven than not. This eye is a little more, you can see kind of the skin right here, my inner rim of my eye after I apply mascara. So I'm gonna go back with that liquid liner. I know liquid seems scary. I've not used this one before, obviously, but I'm just pressing this right in the center, right in between the lashes, concentrating it more at the lash line. And what that does is it just kind of evens out the line of my lash line just a little bit. And so now you can't see that kind of flesh part kind of sticking out. So just a little tip there. All right, for lipstick, I have two options. I have one that I know I would be very comfortable wearing. And where is that one? That's this one. It's Plum Dandy from MAC. It's gorgeous and it is one of my go-tos, especially in the winter time. It is a plummy kind of mid-tone pink shade with frost. But I recently, at some point, it was probably about 2 months ago, but I haven't worn this yet. This is the shade Odyssey. So it also has kind of a frosty finish, but you can see it's a little more on the pink side. So let's go in with a lip liner. Let's start off with Sweet Pea from BK Beauty. This is going to be lighter than the lipstick, but I think that's what I want to help kind of keep it from getting too crazy. Now going in with Odyssey. Ooh, that's bright. I think this would definitely work in the summertime. Yeah, it's not nearly as plummy as I think it looked online. You know how that is. You order something based on a swatch and you're like, huh, that looks a lot brighter. It's really pretty though. Now I could add a gloss over it, but I just want to see what happens when I put Icon, also from MAC, over the top of it. Icon is a cool shimmery brown. Yeah, this is the color I think I wanted it to be. That's better. All right, I put in some earrings, so now I can give you the finished look here. And I think you would all agree this is kind of a Sharalee comfort zone makeup look. Those plummy pink tones on the eyes, and then just this kind of neutral berry lip combination. I am really enjoying this. Definitely going to be doing this again. I would say my standout favorites today, and it will be no surprise, are the eyeshadow palettes that are a part of this set. The face palette in here is okay, but I think the eyeshadow palettes, especially the color combinations in there, I really enjoyed. And then even though I did not use this palette in today's look, these are also great. So if you are somebody who's not intimidated by a very large palette, 28 shades to be exact, this is also a good one too. You've got a good balance of neutrals, warms, and a few rosy tones. The only thing missing from this palette, I feel, especially after using the two shades in this palette, are kind of this dark plum shade and then kind of a vibrant pinky plum as well. I think those two shades would have been a great addition to that palette, but otherwise it is a really nice palette. So everything else though, from the foundation, the concealer, I will continue to wear throughout the day. I will be sure to update you on if they become new favorites and how they wear or not. But thank you so much for being here. If you're in the United States, we are celebrating Thanksgiving Day this week. And I just want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving and to just take a moment to express truly my gratitude for each and every one of you being here. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.